Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Time Pass for the New Indian Express. I have with me the hugely talented Suhasini Maniratnam, and I'm so glad she's returned to direction after 25 years. Uh, and it's such a pleasure to have her with us. She's been an actor, cinematographer, dialogue writer, mom, uh, atheist. I mean, there's so many identities that she has, uh, and of course, a huge supporter of so many different not non-profits in so many different areas. So she's really had a wonderfully involved and engaged life, and it's a real privilege to talk to her. Thank you, Suhasini, for
Thank you
being with us.
so much for that introduction. Thank you so much. The most difficult job is being a mom, I have to tell you. Everything else was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That was the most difficult.
But you have a wonderful son. I think he's so talented, and I think his heart is in the right place, and so is his politics, which I think
Yes,
is the most
absolutely.
important
Yes.
thing. It's such a pleasure to have you back, as I said, as the director of one of the segments of the anthology Puttum Puddu Kalai, right?
Pudu Kale.
Exactly. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But,
That's fine.
the segment that you direct is called Coffee Anyone. And in a sense, it reunites you with your cousin, Anu Hassan, whom you directed in your first film, Indira. So, and your it also stars your niece, Shruti Hassan.
Cousin.
Yes, cousin. Your relationships are so confusing to me.
My story is also about that.
So talk a little about how this came about. I know it came about during the lockdown, and it has, four other wonderful directors. Talk a little about how it came about.
Like you said, my last feature film was 25 years ago, 24 years ago. And after that, I've been making short films.
Yes.
I did one on the 33% reservation that is there for women in Panchayati Raj. So I made a film with Revati and Manorama. And I've made several short films, which were not really for the mainstream or whatever. There's one film where Revati and I directed together. It was a 1-hour film.
Right.
We directed together called Friends. So I've been doing things, but I didn't do another feature film. As you know, I was doing many things, and I started an NGO for single women, which is this year is 11th year. So that's been keeping me very, very busy also from 2009. But when the lockdown was announced, I did Instagram live for about 21 days from my NGO. My NGO is called NAM. NAM is us in Tamil. Hum is Naam in Tamil. So I had a series called Naam Calm. How do we stay calm? So 21 days of making people calmer. But after 21 days, the lockdown continued and I stopped my live show and I didn't know what to do. So then I started writing. I wrote several short stories. This is the 6th story, Kaveri, that I wrote. And when Amazon asked me is when I wrote the 6th story. I had 2 stories and I showed both the story, not both. I pitched both ideas to them and I realized Karthik was doing something similar to what I had written or I had thought of. So I went back to the family story. And even in the first 5 short stories that I had written, I had kind of decided, I was looking at all my friends where they had more than one actor in their house, you know. So I chose an actor who had parents who were also actors.
Right.
I chose an actor who had a son who could shoot him.
Okay.
Things like that. So I was already looking at things like that, and we were still under lockdown. When I accepted Amazon's film, we were under complete total lockdown.
Right.
Like we were not even allowed to go outside our houses. So the lockdown opened only on 5th, and the film industry gave us permission to shoot on 8th, Film Federation. And we started 7th, we started on 8th. So again, it was a lockdown situation. It was not easy. So when I wrote the story itself, before writing, I decided to grab actors who were close to me.
Yeah.
So the first one on my mind was my father, Charu Hassan. Right. And then my mother, I had made her act in the first short film I shot with my iPhone. So she was also there. Then I thought of myself and my cousin Anu, she stays opposite my house. So I said, that is she. And Shruti and I had developed a kind of a rapport during lockdown. She was in Bombay and I was keeping a tab on how she was doing. So I said, you stay wherever you are under lockdown, but that's how the story will be. Somebody in lockdown in a different place, but the communication is with the family. So with that, I started the script.
Right.
But unfortunately, my father had a collarbone fracture and he couldn't join us. So the record of sorts was not broken. You know, we couldn't do that all.
So many Hassans in one frame would have been fantastic.
I know. I thought, I also wanted to write a scene for Kamal, my uncle, that either my elder brother or an uncle or, you know, who's calling, or a friend who's calling and, you know, trying to put a, you know, bring calm to the house. Then I thought, no, it's not happening.
You know, so Hasni, this brings me to a question which is somewhat related, but then we'll come back to your work. You know, the kind of fierce outrage that you've had in Bombay against what is called nepotism now, you know, where if a family is of actors and, you know, they happen to act in a film together or they happen to do films, it becomes now a question of tremendous outrage. You don't have that sense in South India, and I hope it remains like that. Why do you think it's become such a big political issue in Mumbai?
I really don't know, but I can't change the fact that I'm Charu Hassan's daughter or Kamala Hassan's.
Exactly.
In fact, I feel there is more pressure on us.
Right.
In fact, there is more pressure on my son, more pressure on Shruti and Akshara. Because I still remember when I went for the first time to act in a film, the makeup man touched my face and turned it like this, turned it like that, did this, did that, and said, "Are you sure you're Kamala Hassan's niece? Because you don't have his features." And then there was another director, when I danced, he said, "Are you sure you're Kamala Hassan's niece? Because he dances like a dream and you're a very shy, you know, kind of a dancer." So there are some disadvantages that we have all faced, but this is not the platform to talk about it. And like you said, the problem is not here. So and the problem is, it's the pandemic has not reached us. So why go out of the way and discuss it? Is what I feel.
True. But I feel that it allows you to, you know, breathe better, to work better, to have more freedom. You know, now to have this burden that a lot of kids are going to be faced with, I wonder how they'll react to it.
No, I think it's only in the media. I don't think it's a problem in the industry.
Right.
I don't think when it comes to work, you cast who you think is right for your role.
Right.
You know, when Nayakan was made, there was a daughter's role, Kartika's role, which I think Mani wanted me to, Mani wanted me to play it, but the production house decided against it and I didn't act. So Kamal could have easily said, "She's my niece, she should act," but he never interfered. So it's the unit that decides who acts. I don't think nepotism is going to come into that.
Right. So Hasni, you've seen the industry for so long now. There's so much interesting work happening, especially among the youngsters, you know,
absolutely.
And across all languages. And you, of course, have also acted across all languages with such wonderful felicity. You know, when you see people like Fahad, Dulquer, and you've worked with some of their...
the fathers, yes. I worked with all the fathers.
So I wonder, what do you think of it? It's such a...
I think the change started with Hindi films.
Right.
You know, really, because Hindi is pan-Indian. So they were always like Hollywood films trying to cater to all kinds of people and all languages and all emotions. But at some point, the youngsters changed it completely. You know, Farhan Akhtar and, you know, Zoya and so many of them, so many, you know, the director of Queen, you know.
Vikas.
So all of them changed the way Hindi cinema spoke.
Right.
You know, I could identify with it, whereas with the blockbusters, I could never sit through the blockbuster for more than half an hour because, first of all, we all don't know the language. Now we understand because it's real.
Right.
Real. Even if the dialogues, some of the words we don't understand, we understand the emotion.
Right.
So I think the change happened in Hindi films. And also, I think a lot of women in production changed the way the film industry also worked. Otherwise, what used to happen is if I came to the set at 11 o'clock, they will ask me, "Are you a Hindi actor? You've come so late," but today it's not like that.
Right.
Hindi productions are more productive than the South films. I mean, a lot of my producers say it happens, you know, like a clockwork in Bombay, you know, here everything is delayed. So that change also happened, the discipline in production.